least 12 p.m.
Oh
No
yeah.
matter what coast you were on. That's not the morning.
Hey, omelets
Oh my
good
goodness.
all the time apparently.
Fair enough. That's true. Omelets are good all the time. So, prospects, Lazarus. Let's see these agent selections here, Choice.
Well, so far we're getting teased with some fun agents. I saw Viper for a split second. Oh
We
my
all do.
goodness. And Miniature actually locks in the Viper for prospects. This is huge. And it's actually very interesting to see Josh Ortiz here right now playing with prospects, hovering over that, uh, oh my goodness, sky right now. My brain kind of froze because I barely see this agent. But I mean, this if Josh Ortiz locks in the Sky, that would be the second time we have seen Sky on stream today.
Well, and by the way, second time I think we've seen Viper on Bind today. Pretty
Yeah.
sure that Evil Cat and Dilly had a Viper on this map before, if
Yes,
I'm
I do
not
believe so.
mistaken, which is interesting, and I love to see that as well. I think that the Viper, I like the experimentation with the Viper, though. I'll be honest with you, Choice. I'm really not fully sold on it just yet. Maybe Miniature can be the player to sell me.
Maybe Miniature, we have seen some pretty insane stuff come out of that player in general. So the timer is ticking down, so it looks like we are going to see this composition locked in with the Sky, Viper, Sova, Rays. I mean, Brimstone. This is a very interesting composition. A lot of very fast executes, it seems like. You've got the Brimstone with those three uh, smokes that go down for, I think it's, how long are they down? Like 28?
19 seconds.
Oh, okay.
19.
Just a crazy amount of time in terms of like, you know, how fast you're going to be pushing onto a site. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they utilize these kits that they have in place now. And I don't know what to expect at all.
It really is a bit of a question mark, you know? I think that with the Brimstone, you have an interesting position where normally the Omen, right, on defense plays like your normal controller. But, you know, that kind of can go over to the you can go over to the Viper, I think. That's the thing. So if the
Right.
Viper kind of plays that position on defense, that means you just have like a full minute worth of smokes in one position, which is kind of crazy to think about. The buys are in. Looks like we've seen a ghost. A couple frenzies here for what looks like to be some very fast aggression from Lazarus here at the beginning. One frag not going their way. Mikado trying to find one, but Miniature trades, so Xenos tries one back, but it's all frags going either direction, and Hoppin finally turns things around. So 2 players left here for prospects, and that is a great read from Exalt, knowing that there could be that player on the flank and gets the information, and in fact pulls away the frenzy. Dude, Exalt is actually huge brain right now. That's incredible.
Oh, it's huge stuff coming out from Exalt. I mean, I like what you called out there. Knew exactly that Exalt knew where the Cypher was going to be coming from, watching that backside, watching the flank. And there it is, the nice tip. Going to do something there, but Hoppin is going to finish off with a headshot onto town. And there it is. That's going to be the pistol round going on over to Prospects. And very interesting start off to this matchup. We're probably going to be seeing interesting a little bit throughout this round, or yeah, throughout this matchup, just because of the agent composition. You see Lazarus kind of went with the more standard-ish composition. You got the Omen, Cypher, Raze, Reyna, Sova. I mean, like, this is, we see this a lot here in the Valorant Sunday Showdown. It's kind of that staple agent comp, you know, the double duelist. But this time Prospects pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries here with some of these agent compositions. So we are going to be saying interesting a lot, Vincent. I'm not going to lie, at least I am, just because I'm excited to see like how they are going to push the limits with this composition.
You know, I think the limits are going to be pushed, and that's what's interesting about the competition. In fact, though J-Song and Hoppin doing pretty well with just the rifles, and I should say SMGs, because that's what they are. Lazarus now left with 1 player alive and in a tough spot. You know, the other interesting thing here about Prospects' composition, I think that it's very good on the defense, less so here for the attack, I think. And they've come out with a 2-round lead already, and that's certainly going to be giving them as much breathing room as possible. And maybe I come out incorrect on that, but the Viper in particular, I think, is going to be much better here defensively. The Sky, on the other hand, you can make that work on the attack, and arguably it's better on the attack. But everything else is kind of set up for the defense.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching a lot of Valorant TikToks recently, and I see a lot of people with crazy Viper lineups that they're trying to, they're just trying to push Viper as like that S tier agent, So I don't know if I'm fully sold yet. But now that we're seeing it in a competition, we're in the quarterfinals. This isn't group stage, like they're pushing it here in the quarterfinals of the Valorant Sunday Showdown in a best of one. I mean, apparently there is some faith in this agent. And so really excited to see how they are on that defense side like you're talking about. But right now they are on the attacker side. And here it is, the commitment onto the B side. And Exalt is going to win out in that gun duel.
Big win as well. But Lazarus, they're coming back quick and fast with these frags. That's Soar poking up 2. That's massive. A 3rd on the round. At least Josh in this 1-on-3 has to try and find something. Spike is of course down, but with a limited utility, we can see there's really not much of anything. Just has that regrowth available, so just to heal. And the walls are starting to come in. He swings around, finds 1, but not much more. As Lazarus, they solidify a very solid round there in round number 3. So they have responded to Prospect's early start quite well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was a really good gun round for Lazarus. They came in pretty hot and heavy, got those headshots down. I mean, I gotta say, Kolbs with that beautiful flick out on the, I think it was hopping there at the end, but my goodness, that was some fantastic aiming. But now that we're having pretty much a full gun round, except for Mikado, who's gonna have that Spectre in hand. A really unfortunate situation at that moment, but still, we are just about to jump into this 4th round, and it looks like Mikado is going to be pushing in real hot and heavy with this ultimate. The showstopper is out, not going to spot anything. You can actually see Prospects running out of the way as fast as possible. This time we're going to be running in with this little gun duel here in Showers, and they're going to back off and kind of keep themselves alive for a little bit longer.
Keep a lookout for this Sky and how they utilize the Trailblazers. I think the Trailblazers are one of the hardest things to get value out of, along with the Seekers. So that ultimate as well as the Q definitely is quite difficult. And I want to be on the lookout for how Prospects does. There's those Seekers that I was talking about. They're going to come out, and there's the Orbital Strike as well. Should get 1 kill. In fact, it does. Hoppin, able to pick up that one onto Mikado. And Soar is in a spot where those Seekers stop them from really trying to take any sort of positioning. That dark cover moving away at the wrong timing. Now has to pick up something. Soar already has 1, but falls to Jaesung, and now the rotations are in. But you still got to contend with 3 players here moving up onto the site. A shock dart in does a little bit of damage, not quite enough, and the push is good for Jaesung to pick up down, and that is going to be pretty much it. Kolbs finds 1 on the runaway there with the shock dart, but against 2 and at 23 HP, that's a big ask.
Ooh, such an unconventional fight or push onto the site in general from Prospects. I mean, just that gun duel throughout all of the players, it just felt different than we've seen in the Valorant Sunday Showdown recently. I mean, we see kind of the normal smokes from Omen kind of come out, and then a slow push, maybe even like a Sage putting up the Sage wall to plant truck, that. But these defaults just feel different from this agent composition, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I mean, we saw Hop and push out with that the Molly through like the triple stack there in the mid there area of the A site. But my goodness, it just felt like a totally different gun duel in general.
Yeah, and now that Lazarus is on a save, I don't know if it's a positive thing, actually. It worked out well for Prospects right there, but the thing about it is that it wasn't as if it didn't look purposeful. It looked just like it was staggered. Like the push was there, and then it wasn't, and then it came back again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, maybe that's wrong. This is the first time we're seeing this composition, so I reserve the right to be wrong on that, but it definitely looked odd.
Absolutely, it just felt a little bit different than normal, but here we go. Exalt kind of holding on this U-Haul area, just throwing out some util. The satchel's going out in here, but the Lear's going to come out. A beautiful headshot onto Xenos in a really unfortunate situation. The Showstopper comes out and destroys Soar in this moment, and now it is a 5v2 situation. Hoppin making it that way, and it is just one member left. Town, my goodness, has kind of been the last member of Lazarus alive every round so far, but my goodness, the 4K from Exalt was just so crisp.
That was a beautiful 4K. I might argue that we really didn't need to see the Showstopper. It was just an eco round, but it sure looked pretty. And I ain't gonna complain about that. I mean, it definitely was nice to look at. And so now into a gun round here for Lazarus. They won that first. You know, it was a bonus round. It was guns out, but it was a bonus from prospects. And then immediately lost the next gun round. So we'll see if they can turn things around against this very odd composition, or agent composition, I should say, on the attack. It's definitely been throwing Lazarus off. I think there's no question about that.
Absolutely keeping them on their toes with all this weird util coming out. The Molly is actually going to perfectly get onto Soar, push him out of that corner, that cubby, but there is the trade in the favor of Lazarus. That's 2 members of Prospects down, and this is going to be perfect for Lazarus, but Josh Ortiz, though, is going to tie it up. It is a 3-3 situation right here, and it looks like they're going to be going for the B site up against Town, who has been holding this site, anchoring for Lazarus right now, and you see a kind of slower rotation from Lazarus, you see Kolb's coming through with that Sova, going to have some of that util up in their favor, but now we see the full commitment. But my goodness, Town goes around in a perfect angle, taking down Jaesung. This is huge for them, and my goodness, it is a 3v1 situation, but Exalt is huge. We've seen so much potential from this player. Is going to throw out a little bit of util. It is now blind with the paranoia. My goodness, takes down Xenos, but Kolb's is going to be able to finish it off onto Exalt. That was nuts.
That was, I mean, just breathtaking, honestly. Lazarus, they barely come out alive there, and off the back of, I don't even know who it was. I've forgotten already. That's the bad news. Who eked out onto the site there in the 3-on-3. Can you help me out, Choice?
Exalt? Oh.
Exalt. Was it Exalt? No. On the defense, Lazarus.
Town.
Okay. Town, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, that was all on Town, right? Getting that kill and disrupting the push from Prospects, it really turned the round on its head. And from there, Lazarus just kind of walked away with things. So they finally do respond here after a couple of gun rounds, and this is looking not too shabby. Prospects, though, very much still in this thing, can pick up yet another one here, and a gun round victory here will make for a problematic issue for Lazarus. They don't have really enough cash to really reinvest. They only had 1 player survive in the last round as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. Hunter's Fury coming out, and Colts is going fishing. He's not able to find much of anything off the back of that, though. So unfortunately, I think a little bit of a wasted ultimate, just trying to push back the aggression towards A. And to be fair, it was effective in doing that choice.
Yeah, he was definitely kind of fishing for some of that information. Got a tag out on one of the members of Prospects. Not going to finish off anything. You see the regrowth coming out. Mikado trying to do something big. Is not able to do them as much damage as they wanted to do, but this time we do see Xenos getting taken down on the site. But once again, Exalt is kind of the big member here. Miniature doing some damage out in Hookah, but Town has a beautiful angle to be able to take down another member of Prospects. He's on a 2K right now. Once again, it's all up to Town, but Miniature was there, is actually going to be taken down. This is a 1v1 situation. Town has been anchoring this site beautifully so far. He's going to try and do it again, but this time it's Exalt with another 4K here, taking down Lazarus. My goodness, basically single-handedly.
So when I talked about Exalt using that Showstopper a little bit aggressively on the eco round, I guess it doesn't really matter when you just get it out 2 rounds after that, right? Like, it's kind of irrelevant. So I take it back. Exalt, my bad. You know, it's just fair enough, dude. That's it. You use those wherever you want to, because clearly you get them out every other round. And on top of that, by the way, 15-2. We're 7 rounds in choice. 7 rounds.
That's disgusting.
He's got 2 kills every round. He's had like 3, 4 Ks. It's ridiculous. So that's a nice shot from Mikado. He's going to try and bring things back here in the favor of Lazarus, but it's going to be a tough ask with Exalt hitting shots like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lazarus once again on the back foot with these buys right now, but it is Town going to be hanging out here. But my goodness, is actually going to miss that first shot with the Bucky on the Seeker, and now he is going to be kind of set back with that ultimate hit. But this time it is going to be the Viper's Pit that's going to be hanging out here on the A site, locking it down. But Town again with this Bucky with a headshot onto Exalt. That's a huge frag. And my goodness, here comes the Hunter's Fury. Going to try and get something done here. Misses out on some of the kills because Miniature is doing all the work, but Jae-Sung is going to be able to hit someone with that ultimate, but it is just the Sova. It's just Kolbs trying to get something done here, getting nice and close, touches the spike, but is going to be taken down by Jae-Sung. My goodness, these are some pretty spicy rounds from Prospects.
Yeah, that being said, I want to give props to Lazarus. That one, though, they didn't have the weaponry, and they got 3 kills off the back of it. So, not too shabby, especially considering they committed the full pit there. Not something you see every single time around, and I like that they were able to force out some of that utility. Not to mention that Viper ultimate, right? So a couple of big heavy hitters taken down for the Prospect side, and now another gun round in the books. No operator out for either side. It's something we have been seeing, or has kind of been the standard fare throughout this map yet. As Sora gets aggressive over here at long. Nobody's home at the moment, but could find something if he gets a little bit more of a forward position.
This is actually a really nice position for Sora. If Sora can stay alive, get a pick out onto Exalt, that's going to be another one of those high impact frags in the favor of Lazarus. And if that can happen, then my goodness, going nice and slow. Josh Ortiz is going to take down Town. That is another. Oh my goodness, look at this, Vincent. This is so gnarly. Going to be able to take down at least one. Hoppin is going to go down, and there goes another one. Jae-Sung and the spike is down now. Miniature is going to be spotted out by that recon dart. Mikado tries to go in with the showstopper. Isn't going to get anything done with it this time, but knows that someone is around in that area. They're going to try this fast rotation on over to the B site because look how far up Exalt is pushed. This is going to be intense, but the From the Shadows teleport from Lazarus could actually put them in a super advantageous position, but Exalt is just so good.
And look, the rotation, it's coming back to A. The Sova's ready and waiting, but Exalt seems to have an idea. It must have made a noise, and in fact, that utility just forces him out. So what was a great From the Shadows, I would agree with you, from Xenos, is now just entirely countered out by Prospects. He's going to have to do this 1 versus 3. Does the first, Exalt falls. That's a big player to kill here for Xenos, but the problem is, look at the 2 players and where they're sitting. I have to imagine that there might be a little bit of a lineup available for the Viper. You talked about the TikToks. Well, I mean, listen, there's a reason for them. And there goes that screen trying to pick up something. Has to try and throw a dark cover out in order to cover his, well, anything, honestly. Covers the spike for now. Thought it might cover the entrance to long, but now it sticks to defuse, and Miniature too strong through that dark cover, able to pick that one up. So, I mean, Prospects simply outplaying Lazarus.
I mean, what can you do in the face of such a crazy composition? I mean, we've been saying that a lot. The composition. What do you do with all this vision denial from both Brimstone and Miniature on the Viper? I mean, that's insane. And Jae-Sung going pretty crazy with a lot of the recon darts, spotting out a lot of people, kind of putting a lot of pressure with these shock darts as well. And then there's Josh Ortiz, although on the bottom of the scoreboard for Prospects, still has 4 assists and has been using a lot of the utility. You see the heals coming out a lot from that player. So, I mean, just so much impact from all of these players on Prospect.
So, I actually want to make maybe a weird statement here as Josh Ortiz opens up this round in Exalt as well. I mean, realistically, this is not a gun round, but Exalt is just doing Exalt things. I'll get back to my point in a moment. Xeno's trying to do something, but Exalt has a third. Exalt is playing out of his mind at the moment, and Mikado is the sole player left alive, 1v4. But that's pick up 1. That's pretty nice, but it does fall eventually. To answer your question, though, I think it might have been a hypothetical one. I'll try anyway. I don't think that this that realistically, the composition is the problem here. Prospects aren't doing anything crazy. They're playing this map default. They're not doing anything. The sky is not doing anything special. It's just being an initiator, like you would expect a breach or honestly even a phoenix, and as well the Viper is putting some additional utility that you wouldn't normally see, but I haven't really seen anything where I'm like wide-eyed, so I'm not sure. That being said, Soar, Xenos, that's certainly how you can turn things around. I guess if an answer was what you were looking for, we've got it in real time. Prospects fall one by one, and leaving Hop and Co. left in this 2v5. First is already there, but there's 3 players ready and waiting in Hookah. Jump up was there for Jaesung, but it is quickly dispatched, so simply on to Hoppin, who is, trying their best, but it's not to be. So anyway, I'm sorry, long-winded answer choice to a question that I think that Lazarus, they just need to play this map normally. Prospects aren't really doing anything special. Exalt is just 21-5.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. I mean, disgusting play from Exalt, 21-5, even 2 assists. I mean, beautiful stuff. I mean, I feel like Lazarus had a good idea in that last round. They got super aggressive. They got ahead of all the utility from Prospects. They didn't allow them to line anything up. And, I mean, that was a good start for Lazarus. They came out, got the frags, won the aim duels, especially in that mid area. And now we're here in another round with a very interesting camera setup here. Love to see this. But now it looks like Lazarus are kind of pulling out the stops here.
Trying to do what they can, that's for sure. They're playing retake here on B. And nobody's home as that spike gets planted. Prospects. The retake come in. That is a very well placed Leer. Mikado chimes in for another. The Empress gets popped. Soar with one more. Able to find that as the Showstopper pops as well. That's maybe a little bit aggressive considering the neural theft is there too. But Jaesung finds 2. How does Jaesung find 2 off the back of that? The lineup, is it good here? It is good enough, but now Miniature is left in the 1-on-3, and I think it's just a matter of time, particularly as the aggression is there. Yeah, that's a good find, but it is short-lived.
Yeah, there it is. Those lineups definitely staving off the defuse for a little bit. But here we go. We are at the switch, and this is going to be huge. This is exactly what you were talking about. This composition kind of feels like it could be really, really bright on this side of the map, on the defense side. So we're going to have to see how how Lazarus are going to be able to handle some of the utility that they've got on hand, and if Prospects know how to lock down a site up against Lazarus. So, like you said, they were kind of running defaults. They were winning those gun duels. Exalt, definitely a shining player here. But this is the switch. This is the whole mindset switch.
I don't think this is so bad from Lazarus. I mean, if you look at the frags, like Exalt basically won those 4 rounds by himself, so it's fine. Lazarus getting aggressive up long. Sora does win that. Go to find out though. So Josh Ortiz did have a lot of good usage out of those guiding lights, but it wasn't quite enough to pull things back. And Miniature, oh, that's so good. Miniature held things up with that utility, those Viper mollies, long enough for the rotation to come in, and now they're able to try and get this retake from Hookah. Is such a strong position. The frags moving both directions though, and now Prospects are in a good spot, trying to find that through the smoke, and Town falls once more. So now a tough spot. Colbs has to be the winner, but unfortunately losing out that gun battle. Leaves simply Soar 1-on-2. The spike already being diffused, and unfortunately Soar somehow has found that out. And 5 bullets left in the chamber, and is what? The last bullet for the 1v2. I thought it was over when Soar sat in the paint canister, but no.
Oh my goodness.
What was that round, dude? It was just chaos.
That's all you can really say about it. It was just pure chaos. Lazarus came out on top. Prospects, the last 2 members alive, did not have a lot of health in the pool. But still, my goodness, what a crazy round. Lazarus wins that pistol round. It's going to be on the hard buy here. We see Spectres in everyone's hands, so they're going to try and get ahead of this Econ from Prospects. Not going to allow them to move up very hard, but this time the Shock Dart is going to come out. We do see the bucket coming off from Miniature, sending a couple of rounds downrange. Going to send in the Molly as well. Not going to do much this time. Going to be watching this corner. But my goodness, it's a nice quiet moment out of the chaos that has been basically this entire matchup. Here it is, Mikado just hanging out in showers, does a ton of damage, but is going to be taken down in the end here. Kolb's making a lot of noise. There is Miniature around the corner. Sends a shot in just for the fun of it. But that is the B site in the favor of Lazarus.
And that is, well, was a teleport strat. Xenos quickly dispatches that with ease. Exalt, now the final player coming through in this direction, is not even able to find one. So I say final player. Josh Ortiz is actually here as well, but didn't come through the teleporter. Rotated around with the legs. So I like this Frenzy, by the way. The skin definitely looks pretty. Unfortunately, we don't get to look at it for very much longer.
Oh, there it is.
Or, you know, oh, there we go. Nice.
Wow. Another good round for Lazarus. They're staying on top of the Econ here. Prospects did kind of buy in a little bit. Miniature with another shotgun in hand. This time it's going to be the Judge instead of the Bucky. Going to try and get something big done there with all that vision denial. It could be perfect for them if they get all the smokes up, kind of hang out in this little cubby area. Maybe good for one, maybe two, depending on the push from Lazarus. But that's probably what we're going to see here. Maybe a little aggression. There goes the vision denial. Very interesting setups here.
And this is Prospects looking to move their way out of the top 8 for the first time since their second place finish all the way back in week 41. So definitely looking to close things down, as now the defense Prospects here at A is going to be tested. I say that, though, it's a very slow push, barely coming through, and it's, in fact, not a push. I like this a lot. The teleport strategy is there, and this is actually a very clever B hit.
Ooh, they left the Reyna inside of the teleporter room, waiting to see if anyone gets a little greedy, jumping through that. Miniature is thinking about it, it looks like, going back and forth, kind of jump peeking the corner. Not going to see anything this time. They all are hanging out in the mid, but it looks like there might be a fake rotate here going towards long, possibly back towards A. This is kind of a really slow push from Lazarus. It started nice and aggressive, but this time they are going a little bit slower, shoulder peeking a lot of these angles, but the paranoia is going to come out as well as the guiding light, but Josh Ortiz going to win out in this gun duel, but not this time. The trade comes out from Soar, but Exalt is in just the perfect position with that ridiculous info from the members of Prospects. The showstopper comes out to finish it off, and my goodness, Exalt is just in the right place at the right time throughout basically this entire matchup. 29 kills, Vincent. Look at this.
I want to say words I can't say on broadcast, to be honest with you. I mean, Jesus. What is going on? Exalt is just better. I don't know what else to say. like when you're 29 and 8, like 29 kills in a game is great. Much less 15 rounds into a game. Right? Like, my gosh. And this is what I mean by, like, Prospects isn't doing anything crazy with their strategy. They're just, well, Exalt is just aiming better and doing everything necessary. And unfortunately for Lazarus, like, I feel like Lazarus in that last round, they really got ahead of themselves. They tried to get too fancy with it. And, well, that's not fancy. That's pretty standard. Jason getting tagged with the Owl Drone, proccing that Hunter's Fury on the other side, but didn't end up getting anything off the back of it, which is pretty nice movement from Jason. So still a 5-on-5 here, as Prospects, they spread out across this map.
Sending in the Pathfinder. Hopefully going to try and get a little bit of information. Does know now that someone is in market and the push is coming out. The Paranoid comes out as well, but it looks like they are trying to clear out this area. But Exalt is just too dang good. Getting the frags. 1, 2, 3. All of the members going down so far. There's still 2 left, but that's the spike down in this area. And I don't know what's going to happen if they're going to be able to get that spike back. In general, they're going to have to get the frags. Some beautiful shots from Kolbs could get the party started for Lazarus, and a lot of util usage as well. The paint cans come out. Mikado wins out in that duel, but the trade comes out from Hoppin, and that is a 1v3 situation. Kolbs, we've seen some crazy stuff from this player earlier today. There goes another member of Prospects, but this could be some bad timing for Kolbs. I don't know yet. Oh! But the timing was just perfect from Prospects. Vincent, please help me understand what just happened.
I mean, Exalt killed 3 people. That's what happened. and the rest of the round was pretty much Lazarus trying to deal with that. They actually almost did. The problem, of course, was that Kolbs, despite his heroics, was working against the clock in a pretty massive way. It's about 20 seconds left when they recovered that spike. So, you know, against 3 players, it's just a really tough ask of any player, much less Kolbs, who's, by the way, has had a good game. Like, I don't think anybody in Lazarus is really playing bad or anything like that. It really is just Prospects playing very well. Guiding Light's perfect, though. That's so impeccable. And that's exactly what you love to see from that character of the sky. Comes in, a little bit of team flash, but the help is there. But it is trades, all things considered. Exalt with another one. Maybe he'll third. Indeed, it is the third. 2 3Ks, 2 rounds. Exalt is gaming.
35 kills, 17 rounds in.
This is like, I mean, this is like, you know, I'll take a screenshot of this if I do this in a ranked game. And I'm like, I'm really proud of myself. This is against really good players.
I'm in shock. But my goodness. The double peek came out from Lazarus, but Exalt had the headshots out. The aim duel is definitely going in the favor of Exalt. Beautiful dart there for Lazarus, sending in the Pathfinder. Knows that there's at least 2 pushing through C-Long, sends in the Guiding Light, but the Paranoia is going to come out as well as the Showstopper. This could be huge. Gets a teeny bit of damage out, but not enough. Hoppin with Sword, following just behind Sword. Gets a nice double kill, but here comes Exalt's own Showstopper. It's going to take down Kolbs. That is a huge player to go down on the side of Lazarus. It is a 3v3 situation, but my goodness, Lazarus are going to have to find something else to do here in this situation, but Town knows there's a member back there. It's Jae-Sung, shoulder peeking, kind of jumping around, trying to get any information possible.
Oh my gosh.
Vincent.
He has another 3K, by the way. Like, this is 3 3Ks in a row. Like, this just shouldn't be allowed. This is bullying of the highest order. Like, poor Lazarus, man. What are they supposed to do? They're not even playing bad. They're not doing anything wrong, our Lazarus.
At all.
They're just getting beat by Prospect. And by Prospect, I mean Exalt. Like, nobody else. I mean, yeah, like, to be clear, Prospect, the rest of Prospect's team aren't playing bad or anything. But, like, when your top fragger has 38 frags, and the next person down is 12. Like, there's very few times in this game of Valorant. It's so complex that frags are usually never the one thing that is the difference maker. But this time it is. I think they could be playing, you know, whatever agent picks they wanted. And if Zalt goes 38 and 10, it's the same scoreline.
Yep. I would say so as well. This is match point for Prospects. They've been kind of making a speed run of this round so far, but Lazarus, like you said, they're not playing bad at all. They're actually playing really good. Prospects and Exalt are just on one today. Josh Ortiz goes through. That teleporter gets one. Xenos is going to trade him out. Lazarus, this is their last chance to stay in the playoffs here of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. Jae-Sung is going to be able to get that headshot out onto Xenos. Perfect cyber cage from Town is going to allow them to kind of escape in that moment, or at least rotate around towards the showers area. But this Viper's wall is just too dirty with Exalt coming around. Ooh, and a beautiful trade there. It is a 2v3 situation, make it a 2v2, and nice and quickly. Town is still kind of under fire here in this situation. Going to try and stay alive, and he does for now. Lazarus, they still have another shot, but it is Miniature is going to get one frag. Combs, it's all up to you. Starting off with a 3K, does have the Hunter's Fury available to him. He's going to have to rotate all the way over to the B side and get this spike down as fast as possible. But I have a feeling that prospects, Jae-Sung is going to be able to hear the rotate from that position, but maybe not. Spike is going to be tested for a sec there. Now he knows it's going to be coming from Hookah. This is a big moment, Vincent.
It definitely is. I mean, it is winnable, though, because Exalt's dead. So there's that. Spots out the head. Does Jae-Sung now knows where the player's at. Does he swing? Oh, he has the side. Oh, that's so good from Jae-Sung. He saw the very tip of his head right around the corner and able to hit the headshot. So, well, it was possible, but not a victory. Their Lazarus fall to Prospects in dominant fashion. 13-6 was the final score line. But, I mean, what was the final score there for the likes of Exalt? I'm sure it's going to be MVP, so I think we'll find out here in a second. But I mean, come on, man, that's just crazy. There's nothing to analyze. Like, did the agent picks work? I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. They didn't, like I was saying, you were talking about Choice earlier in the game. Like, you were like, oh, well, these agent picks working out. And I was like, I didn't really see anything interesting from them. They just were playing quite standard. And I think I want to stand by that. I didn't necessarily see anything crazy. Once they got onto the defense, the sheer amount of utility was a bit problematic for the entirety of Lazarus. That's where I think the team really stepped up big time. But Exalt going 39, 11, and 4, I think that's one of the highest combat scores I've ever seen. 558. Like, what do you do against that? You just don't. You don't win. That's like 10s on C9 levels of carry.
Oh my goodness. Well, there it is. Exalt carrying the team on his back. I mean, and light work for Exalt apparently. 39. I still can't get over that. But anyways, 558. I think that is a Valorant Sunday Showdown at least. Just record for average combat score, especially here in the playoffs. But I gotta say, GG's to Lazarus. I think this is their first foray here into the Valorant Sunday Showdown, so I'm really glad that you guys were here and you guys made it all the way to the quarterfinals off of the back of some crazy matches. You know, we saw you guys on stream earlier today. You did have a unfortunate loss there, but you came back and won the next two rounds pretty fantastically and made it all the way to the quarterfinals. So once again, it's not like you said, Vincent, it's not because they played bad, it's just because Exalt is just on one today.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do about it, but you love to see it. I really am impressed with Exalt, a player I'm definitely. I mean, I had my eyes on this team prior to this, but now my eyes are locked on. I'm laser focused on this squad now with that sort of performance. If you have a player who's capable of doing that against other top tier competition, like, you know, there's a difference between getting like 25 kills. Like 25 kills is a really good game.
Oh yeah,
39 is an entirely different story, man. And so I'm really impressed with them. I think that Prospects, they might make a run here. I mentioned they hadn't gone higher than second here since week 41. This might be the time.
Oh, absolutely, especially with their work today. But that's going to be it for the quarterfinals. We're going to jump into a quick little break here. And on the other side of that break, it's going to be semifinals. And when we come back, you don't want to miss what's going to happen next. It's a crazy run.